Hey Facebook family, friends and friends of friends. This is a little video that I would love for you to sit all the way through. I've just got back from Chennai. I'm in Australia before I head back to the UK in a couple of weeks, and I had the most life-changing and most amazing time there. Met some really wonderful people, seen some great missionaries at work, but met some kids that have just grabbed my heart, and a couple, Silas and Tenny, who are just amazing people, so giving. And I guess you've seen the title of my post, Putting My Money Where My Mouth Is. So let me just say straight off, I'm not the sort of person who normally discusses what I do with my giving in life. I tend not to, but I felt so compelled by the stories of some children that I thought this is the best way that I could help them, by asking you and perhaps challenging you. Yeah, I'm going to ask you for money, but before you press stop on your play bar, I would say, please, think about this proposition. What if the £1, $1, or the €1 you gave was doubled? That's right, doubled. I would match your giving. Now, there is a caveat here. I am not a wealthy man by any means, and so I have to say that I'm asking you for £4,000, and I will give £4,000. If you raise 4,000, I will give 4,000. That's the sort of a limit I've got. But even more than that, when I tell you about the stories of the lives set ahead and how you're going to help them and why you can help them, so it won't be just me talking. You'll get to see some other little video clip stuff. So it's not just going to be that boring. But I'm going to use a facility called youcaring.com, and they don't charge any fees. Come on, that's great. And then I will give you a commitment that, the expected fees that are taken by credit card providers in their transaction to give to youcaring.com is about 2.5%. So I'm going to give another £300 or £250 over that £4,000, which you'll see I've already placed into the account to match the fees that you give, so you can be guaranteed that your £1, $1, €1 is 100% going to what I'm asking you for. So let me tell you about it, and thank you for taking the time to listen to me. And if you're about to stop and you're not really interested, please would you just share this to your timeline and let someone else listen to this. It might just impact them and help them on the journey as well. Silas and Tenny are two people who have been in Chennai for 16 years, serving the street kids of Chennai and helping orphans in Chennai. Silas is a pastor, so this is a Christian man who could have had a life in America being a youth pastor, but he gave it all up to come over to Chennai to serve the kids there. Met his lovely wife, Tenny, and together they have been looking out for kids. Now, the Charis Foundation, which is a registered Indian charity, it's very hard to get a registration as a Christian company as it is. They've just had it renewed, their charitable status. And I can give you all those details shortly about who they are, and you can check them out for yourselves. But they go out every day with a bus, and they meet about 100 kids where they educate them on the bus and give them one square meal a day. And so far this year, 29 kids have been helped through learning maths, learning English and other curriculum, and also spoken English, to get into a state-funded and run school. And their aim, I guess, is to take them out of the poverty cycle. It reminds me of the old adage, give a man a fish, feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, feed him for life. And I guess that's their ethos, to get kids, the street kids of Chennai, off the streets where they are often exploited into all sorts of things that you and I would know would happen, prostitution, whatever it is, those sort of things. Or they end up in a street life of crime, having to steal and often getting caught and beaten, let alone, by people, but then the police themselves. And it's a rough life for them. And we want to get them out of that poverty cycle. And they've got them into schools. Now, the second arm of their charity is some of those kids that they meet from that bus are unable to fend for themselves. They have no families. I mean, I can tell you some of the stories. We'll do that another time. It's a bit heartbreaking. But they have an orphanage. And in fact, they like to call it a family home. And I agree, I've been there. It's definitely a family home. But they have two places, one for boys and one for girls, where they have 27 boys and 13 girls. And they're amazing, from different ages, from 4 right the way up to 19. And already they've seen some kids, who have gone through the orphanage and have left home, gone through college, and one of them's got work, and others are looking for work, and they're starting their lives, and they've been broken out of that cycle, that poverty cycle, which is just amazing. Now they want to amalgamate both these centres into one place, which is really important. So out west in a place colloquially known as Red Hill is where the boys' orphanage is, where they've already started stage 1 building. They've got the foundations laid and they've got the first floor built, which will house a rec room for the girls and the kitchen for them for both buildings, because they have a boys building which they've done an extension on. They've got new dormitories and new beds, and they've got Western style ablutions and toilets, and Indian style toilets and showers where the kids can make sure they're clean and healthy. But unfortunately they have a deadline of the 23rd of October 2016 where they need to get this kitchen in place. And that was my heart. I mean, I must admit I do love a bit of food, probably you do too, but the heart of the home for this, and I've been there to see them eat together, is a family unit where the big boys sit with the little lads and they come together and they share their stories of their day, and it's such a fun, loving and safe environment for them. And they get a good meal, they get a little snack when they come home from school, but they get 3 meals a day. But if you see the facility they currently have now, it doesn't meet the standards and they need a new kitchen, is where I'm asking you to help. The heart of the home, where they gather together in the dining room, but we need to fix up their kitchen for them. Now they've got a wet store and a dry store, and they need to get some fridges, they need to get freezer, they need to get stainless steel equipment, stainless steel paneling on the walls. Now they could go for really cheap options, but out in India the humidity would cause wood to break. I mean, because they're in the countryside, there's lots of vermin, rats and cockroaches and things, so stainless steel equipment is vitally important, A, to keep it clean, but B, but also to keep everything secure and pest free. And so I'm asking for your help to really, so that we can get stuff that will last 30 or 40 years, and when they build up into stage 2, when they get 100 kids on site. Now I will have some more videos with some of the missionaries I've met there who will tell you what they've seen and how it's impacted them. We'll meet a couple of the kids, and we'll also meet Tenny and Silas, who are 2 wonderful people, very giving and very loving. So I'm going to ask you to please, in the very least, if you're a prayerful person, please pray for the Charis Foundation in India, that they will keep impacting lives and breaking the poverty cycle and giving these children love. Secondly, if you can help financially, maximize by giving your whatever it is amount, and I will match it. And thank you. And if anything, and you can't help, then at least please share this to your timeline. So once again, I will give you a link to where you can help with the funding. You will see that I've already made a donation myself. You may not know me because you're a friend of a friend, and if you want to check out the legitimacy, contact your friend, and I will give you updates when we will show you the progress of things that have been bought and done, and how you are helping to love on these children and to give them a place where they can have good, healthy meals, and in a place where the heart of the home, where we can be loved on. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. I hope you have a great day, and wherever you are, that you're making an impact in your world.
Thank you very much. God bless you.